Howdy there. I wanted to go over our school setup procedure. And I'll start off with the Titan 1M. Now the origin of the part is in this upper left corner right there. See right there? And we're using what they call model box point, which we're going to use this upper left hand corner. Now that's also where we draw this thing from. And I actually made a model of just the stock by itself. Here's the stock. And the stock is oversized. It's longer, wider, and it's actually thicker on the bottom there. Okay. Now when you choose how to do a setup, you've got to communicate where do you want person to set it up, or if you're trying to remember how to do it yourself. So we're using the model box corner here, and if we get out our probe or edge finder and we're finding this wall right there, then we need to shift the coordinate in so we make sure we cut material all the way around us. So in our setup sheet example right here, I have the same on this, so this will be out in the book out front. We're using the, I should have wrote that as left, upper left corner. Sorry. Okay, upper left corner. So you have your raw material in there, and you're only going to have that. You only have that. And you're going to find this corner. And if you don't shift it, you're going to be raw material on the left and not cut on the right. And also we need to shift the top coordinate because we're trying to machine the top of this thing here. Back to the, so this is, and these are all the Titan parts in the series are all using the upper left corner, and they're all shifting by about the same amount. You get to operation 2, that's when it can be a little bit different, but you're always going to be aligned to the model. So I'll get up to operation 2. But as far as like understanding and remembering what to do when you get out there, we're using model box point for our manufacturing or cam side. When we cut the raw material, we put it in the vise, and we're going to find this corner right there, and we're going to shift it. Like X, we're going to shift positive 50, the Y we're going to shift negative 25, and the top we're going to shift negative 10 thousandths. So that'll ensure we have material cut all the way around. Now when you're cutting material, we're just taking the 2-inch wide bar stock that's 1 inch tall, and it's 1 inch tall from here to here. And then we have to saw cut it. We have to saw cut it to length. And if you go to the original blueprints, this part is 4 inches long, so we got to make it a little bit longer than that. So 4.125, that would be decimal, and this would be, on your tape measure, 4 1/8 is 4.125 to 4 1/4. That will make sure we have long enough, but not too much. Right? So this will be our setup sheet for operation 1, and this is going to apply it on all of them in understanding where this is all coming from. So we have the setup sheet, and then I want to go over this, the 6 steps here. So I call it 3 steps for setup and 3 steps for prove out. Let's zoom up on this here. Okay, you got to get your material, pick a machine to decide how you're going to mount it. So pretty much all those parts are going to be in the vise. So make sure you're clean, and the vise is, if you haven't got a vise in there, you got to put it in. Clean or install hard jaws. So probably we're just cleaning the soft jaws, the pre-machined soft jaws, and then installing work stop. That's going to control the x-axis in case somebody moved it or it's actually too high or something. Then you got to get your raw material, make sure it's deburred and belt sanded before you put it in there, and double check the size. And then load the stock in the setup, double check, and clamp and torque for machining. get ready to just go right to town on that. Alright, so then we're going to do set work offsets using the probe system. So you got to remember the procedure, how to get it into the probing programming, because you have to do some selections in there. And a lot of us have been using the 3-in-1 program that does the upper left. But remember, we got to do those shifts right up here. So that's adding and subtracting these numbers. So we're going to set the work offsets using the expensive probe and turn the rapid down to 25% and then set X, Y, and Z if you're doing independent ones or the 3-in-1 settings. Then you got to get your tools organized. And usually the face mill is in the machine. You want to make sure when you get ready to measure it, take a look at the inserts, make sure they're good. And then we're going to load in like tool 2, 3, 4, 5. And I go and get them. I got my setup sheet, I get it out, and I look. I'll just put them in order, and I'll load them all in there. And then we're going to pick the appropriate tool setting cycle to set that up. Once that's all done, then you're ready to do something. So then we're going to go to the run checklist. So first thing is prove out. Load the program into control. You want to transfer the program and not use the select program button. Select program is only for programs that are already in the machine. We want to transfer that over. So it's usually the F2 button that does the transfer. Then we're going to run the graphic simulation, make sure that looks correct. Set the rapid override at 25, turn on optional stop. So this sheet's right at every machine, so you should be able to go step by step. Then we're going to do a dry run in the air with the G92Z shift up. Manually turn the coolant off. Then we're going to put it in memory mode. And when I go to memory mode, I always hit reset, so I know the program's at the beginning, it's ready to go. And then cycle start the program. I'm going to dry run in the air and then verify complete. Then we're going to go to cutting metal. So we're going to leave the rapid override on, the optional start button on. You got to be on the feed hold button. We're going to do single block. I'm going to bring it down. And we have the position screen on distance to go. Verify that that's all correct. Finish the move that does the G53H command that brings the tool down. Verify that that looks good. If that all looks good, once you get beyond the coolant on phase, turn the single block off and let it cut. But you want to stay on near the feed hold buttons. Keep, and then listen to how it cuts. Check the load meter. You got to kind of take it all in. You also need to, because you have optional stop on, it's going to automatically stop. You got to get in there and blow it off. You got to make sure that it did what it's supposed to do. Like if you miss the drilling operation or the drill did not drill, you're going to break taps after that. So you need to identify everything's been cut. So inspect part after each tool and then finish, and then we do our bench inspection. So we do a couple of measurements on length, width, refer to the blueprint, measure at the bench with your mic or 6-inch caliper, and when we're all completely done, turn it in with the inspection sheet for first piece inspection. So that's pretty much it. So all these sheets are there. I made some quick videos of like me standing in front of you, but should be able to, and I'm going to start also having people do repetitive setups, like 1 or 2 in a row, to kind of lock it in. I think we need to build some more muscle memory. So, and that's about it as far as the setup procedure. So, upper left corner. So all the other ones would be the 1 and the 2M are just flipped over 180 degrees. That will become upper right corner. And some of the other ones are the round parts are all in the center. So you want to do model box point, but put it in the center. And then when we get on to the other ones, how we're going to do our Z0. But I have a setup sheet for each one on the Operation 2 side. So you can refer to that to see where you want to put your your coordinates. Okay, that's it for me, so I'll talk to you later.